Alright, I am going to read you our story called Tommy the Trapezoid. Now, the words are on a different page. They're not on the page because we don't want the classmates to read along with us. So, I'll be looking at the screen, but you can look at the pictures. So, here is the first page, obviously. Once upon a time, there lived a little trapezoid named Tommy. Ever since Tommy was little, he's been pretty sad. He never really felt complete. While the others around him rolled, he simply flopped. While the others jumped and hopped along, he simply sat there, unable to move. Tommy tried his hardest to be happy just the way he was, but when he went to bed at night, he would always dream about all the things he wished he could be. One day, Tommy was tired of feeling this way, and he made a choice to do something about it. He decided to take a journey. He had been traveling for a while, and he hadn't found anything. He was distracted with his thoughts when he heard a voice behind him. "Hey, son. I never seen you around these parts. Don't you think you're a little far from home?" Tommy turned around and saw an old shape sitting in a rocking chair. "I'm Ollie the Octagon. Who are you?" Tommy sadly responded, "I'm Tommy the Trapezoid, and I'm not really sure what I'm looking for." Ollie responded, "I don't know if I can help you, but would you like to learn a new trick?" "I guess," Tommy said. Ollie then folded himself in half and said, "That, son, is called flipping. You see how the right side and the left side of me are the same? Why don't you try it?" Tommy folded himself in half and was amazed by this new trick. Oops, right there. Tommy thanked Ollie as he walked away with a smile on his face. With each and every step, he tried his new trick to make sure he could still do it. As he made his way into the next town, a square and a star stopped him. They wouldn't let him pass. "I'm Stanley. This is my sidekick, Sydney. What do you think you're doing around here?" the shapes asked. "I don't mean to bother you. I'm just taking a little walk." The two shapes looked at each other and laughed as they looked down on Tommy. "We have a little rule around here that unless you're able to do every trick we're able to do, you can't pass." Tommy was a little scared, but excited at the thought of learning some new tricks. "All right, watch and learn. As a square, I, with the help of a few other friends, would be able to be placed in an even pattern, and there would be no space between us when we were finished. Here, use this pencil and see if it would work for you." Tommy took the pencil and drew some trapezoids, but as much as he tried, there was always space in between the shapes. Sydney laughed as she pushed Tommy out of the way. "You can't do it, and there's only one test left. Watch carefully." Sydney turned herself, and with each rotation she stayed the same. "That, kid, is called rotational symmetry. Go." Tommy leaned back to start the rotation, but before anything could happen, he landed flat on his back. Sydney and Stanley laughed as they pushed him into a puddle. "You're just a one-trick wonder, kid. Now beat it." Tommy watched as the star and square walked away and laughed to themselves at his expense. "Guess I am just a one-trick wonder. Who would ever want me around?" Tommy laid there in the puddle without any motivation to get up. He heard someone coming towards him. "Just go away," Tommy said. "I know I'm not worth anything. I know that I can only do one trick. Just stop bothering me and I'll go home." "Now why did you do that?" the voice said to him. Tommy looked up and saw another trapezoid above him. "Oh, I thought you were someone else. You can just leave me alone too. I'm not worth anything to anyone." The trapezoid smiled and said, "Don't say that. Everyone is worth something. Come on, get out of that puddle." Tommy responded with, "Yeah, I'll get up in a minute. I just don't feel like it right now." She sat down next to him and said, "Okay, puddle boy, that's how you're going to be. I'm just going to sit right here and wait for you. My name's Tiffany, by the way." Tommy didn't respond for a while and finally said, "My name's Tommy, but why don't you want to sit by me? I can't do anything, and I'm not really any fun to play with. No matter what I try to do, I just always fall down." Tiffany was confused. "First of all, I'm a trapezoid too, so I understand your frustration, but I also don't even know you, so how can I not like you? Now maybe if you would get out of that puddle, sticky muddy puddle, I could get to know you." Tiffany stood up and leaned over to help Tommy out of the puddle. When he got up, they slipped and crashed into each other. The force of their crash caused them to fall to the ground. Tiffany laughed as Tommy groaned. "See, look, I even made us fall. You should probably just go before I cause more trouble." Tiffany giggled. Tommy, I'm trying to get up, but I think we fell in some very sticky mud because we're kind of stuck together." Tommy tried wiggling, but he had the same luck as Tiffany. "Great. This is just great." Tommy was very annoyed at this point. "It's okay," Tiffany said. "We'll figure it out. There's no reason to be frustrated. I think it's kind of funny. Come on, get up and we can start Operation Separation." Tiffany's excitement had so much force that when she jumped up, she pulled Tommy with her. They tried many different ways to separate themselves. They tried rotating, they shifted, they flipped, but nothing was working. After hours of pulling and prodding and pushing, Tommy had a revelation. "Tiffany, do you just realize what we just did?" Tiffany was still laughing at all the fun they were having. "What did we do?" Tommy was so in shock that he started laughing too. "We just did lots of tricks. When we were trying to pull away from each other, we first rotated. With every rotation, we stayed the same. Then after that, we shifted to the side and we stayed the same. In fact, I think if we drew the shape that we make together, we would be able to make an even pattern with no spaces between the shapes. We even flipped in different directions many times. Did you notice that?" Tiffany was figuring all this out when she realized it too. "Whoa, we really did do all of that. That's very cool. See, Tommy, you aren't a one-trick wonder." Tommy smiled as he and Tiffany started walking away from the puddle. This would come earlier, sorry. Hey! As they continued their walk, they noticed many different shapes around them. "Hey, look at that cloud. I wonder what kind of tricks it could do," Tiffany asked. Well, I think it could flip and rotate." "Oh, look at that leaf right there. What do you think it can do?" Tiffany thought for a second and said, "That one flips since both sides look the same. It would be the same with the butterfly. Now what about that flower?" Tommy looked at the flower and figured out his answer. "That flower's trick would be to rotate." Tommy thought back to everything they'd learned that day. He remembered Ollie's ability to flip, and he realized that even though Sydney and Stanley hadn't been very nice, he had learned tricks from them too. "Thank you," he said to Tiffany. "For what?" she asked. "For sticking by me, literally." He laughed at his joke as they continued to walk. "If only those shapes could see you now," Tiffany said with a smile, and she and her new best friend continued their walk. The end. Wasn't that just epic? Completely epic. It's gonna be a bestseller. Anyway, I love you guys, and I thank you for editing my horrible piece. Or at least it was before you edited it. Now it's perfect. But yeah, thank you. And have a wonderful day, and I will see you in 1 month. Because 1 month from tomorrow will be the 18th. Bye.